So this lesson, to differentiate by process, will be forming flexible groups based on student interest with a learning inventory survey, and then the jigsaw method for students being responsible for teaching a chunk of content to the rest of their group. So students will, for this lesson, be learning both social studies, science, and gifted standards. It talks about the fifth grade social studies standard for protecting citizens' rights and understanding the Bill of Rights, along with the microorganisms science standards. Most importantly, the gifted standards are examining an issue from more than one point of view and creating a product that synthesizes information from a variety of sources. So students are going to start by getting an inventory from the 6 hats, which 6 hats is basically a way or a strategy for students to be able to look at one issue from multiple points of view by kind of teasing out, for example, the white hat is just the facts, focusing on rationale and objective. The red hat focuses on emotions and how people feel, and then you have the positive, the negative, and creativity. So students are going to start by completing this learning inventory, which color they believe is most like themselves, and their justification, and then the least, and then they can put them in the middle. After they do that, they will be given a chart where they can actually graph to end up with something that looks like this, so they can visually see which style of thinking is most natural to them. The teacher will then put students into groups using the strategy heuristics, that's hard to say, with the goal of only one learner in the blue hat to avoid conflict, because that's the leader hat, as many green hats as possible in each group, balancing yellow and black to have a balance between positive and negative, and then an equal number of white hat and red hat to balance the logical with the emotional. Some preloading of information is that there would be a couple of activities for a discussion on civil rights, the Bill of Rights, and students will also be watching a video to gather some background information about Typhoid Mary. But then they break into their groups using the aforementioned strategy. White hat, red hat, yellow hat, black hat, green hat. The blue hat is actually going to be saved for the end because that's the synthesizing hat where they pull everything together. And so each group will meet together. The white hat group will all be working together to answer these questions, and the same goes for each of the groups. After all the groups are done, they will present their information like jigsaw fashion to another group of all different colored hats. And there's a note-taking page so students can learn from everybody else. When they're finished with that, they move on to the blue hat project, where they have a choice of how they want to show all of the information they've learned, and the final product is assessed with a rubric.